fifth lecture, Pragmatics of Translation. Lecture class plan. The first, what is pragmatics? The second, what are the relationships between pragmatics and equivalence? What is pragmatics? Words in language are related to certain reference which they design and to other words of the same language with which they make up syntactic units. These relationships are called semantic and syntactic respectively. Words are also related to the people who use them. To the users of the language, its words are not just indifferent, unemotional labels of objects or ideas. The people develop a certain attitude to the words they use. What is pragmatic equivalence? How a text makes sense to a given readership. We go beyond the textual level and see how utterances are used in communicative situations. Pragmatic equivalence tends to reproduce the context and text goals of the source language. Pragmatic equivalence subsumes all of the semio-pragmatic communicative layers of communication. Examples of these semiotic and communicative dimensions are genre, field, mode, tenor, text type, and translation purpose. Types of pragmatic relations. There are three types of pragmatic relations. The first, the relation of source language centered to the original message. The second, the relation of target language receptor to the new target text. And the last one, the relation of the translator to both messages. Pragmatic aspect of translation. Pragmatics is the translationship between the word and its users. Pragmatic relations are superimposed on semantic relations and play an equally important role in analyzing the original text and in producing an equivalent text in the target language. The pragmatic implications of a word are an important part of its meaning that produces a certain effect upon the receptor. Of even greater significance is the pragmatic aspect of speech units. Every act of speech communication is meant for a certain receptor. It is aimed at producing a certain effect upon him. In this respect, any communication is an exercise in pragmatics. The next, since the pragmatic effect plays such an important part in communication, its preservation in translation is the primary concerns of the translator, thought it is by no means an easy task. The pragmatics aspect of translation involves a number of difficult problems. Here again, a great role is played by differences in the historical and cultural backgrounds of different language communities in their customs and living conditions. It stands to reason that the natives of a tropical island can hardly be impressed by the statement that something is as white as snow. The reported cooling in the relations between two friends may be understood as a welcome development by the people who live in a very hot climate. The lecture is over.